Why is it switching to millimeters? Piece of Hey everybody, Kyle here with Spicer Designs. These are my outdoor boots, Thorgood Wellingtons. And these are my indoor boots, Thorgood Heritage. And this is my new bench. This was dropped off yesterday by a viewer of the channel, Kevin, I won't say his last name. His stepdad refurbishes these nice old benches here. I gotta say, he did a really nice job. And he thought I could use one, so he dropped it off. So thank you, Kevin. I will definitely sit on this bench. Pretty beefy. Welcome back to the channel. Anyways, today's video, we are back on the welding cart. I need to wrap up this project because we need to start a new build series, which is going to be the wood splitter build. A lot of people have been asking about it, and frankly, I need it up and running because I have a lot of wood to split. I have a lot of trees that I need to take down this spring, and I would much rather do it with the vertical splitter style versus sitting on a bucket or a log. Now, in the second video that I posted on the welding cart, I asked you, the viewers, to give me some ideas and suggestions about some of the grounding and the power distribution, and I got some great suggestions. Now, right off the bat, you could probably see one change already. The Hobart welder is no longer here. I have placed the Hobart welder back on its old crappy tool chest cart, little makeshift deal there, and I have replaced it with the Arc Captain MIG 205 MP. This is a multi-process welder. I just did a video on it, and it turns out it's actually a really nice machine. It has a whole lot more settings for all the different welding processes. By placing this on the welding cart, I'll now have a MIG welder. I also have a plasma torch, which this thing can also do. It can plasma cut. This can also stick weld, and it can TIG weld, but I won't be using the TIG welder on this welder because I'll be using it on the Arc Captain TIG 200P, which is an AC/DC machine. It will TIG weld both mild steel and aluminum, stainless, pretty much anything you want to TIG weld, this will do it. So I'm going to keep this machine specifically set up for TIG welding. And by having this set up, it is going to make this ultimate welding cart extremely functional, at least for me. But we're going to be working on all of the grounding. I have some cool stuff I'm going to do with that. And we're going to be working on how we're going to distribute power to both welders at the same time with an extension cord, blah, blah, blah. Let's get started. So I have some parts and pieces here. Some of them I have not shown you yet. This is a big one. We have our welding plug. This is a 50 amp welding plug, NEMA 6-50R to be exact. This is a standard welding plug. Feels kind of chintzy. And I have two of them. I also ended up picking up some of the 90s for the gas hoses. A couple people suggested this, that way they weren't coming straight out of the back of the machine and kind of swooping around. The 90 will keep everything nice and tight and clean within that welding cart. I'll leave links for these in the description as well. I freaking leave links for everything, in case you're wondering. If it's in the video, there's probably a link for it. It's me from the future, only like a day. I forgot to mention something in the intro. I reached out to Arc Captain. I asked them if they'd be interested in doing a giveaway for this welding cart series, and they said 100% yes. So they have chosen to give away one of their Arc Captain MIG 200. What is it? Is it a MIG 200? I don't even know what the hell it is. Damn it! MIG 200, yeah. So all you have to do to enter is make sure that you're subscribed to Spicer Designs, subscribe to Arc Captain's YouTube channel, and comment Arc Captain. That's it. Pretty easy. As long as you do those three things, we will pick a winner in roughly about 3 weeks, I think. I hope. That's all I got. Got a couple of ground clamps that we're going to be working with. We're going to be cutting them up a little bit. We're going to be routing all the gas hoses on this thing. But this is one thing that I want to talk about right here. There's lots of concern about the grounding between the two machines. We want to avoid any kind of interference when you're welding with one machine and the other one's hooked up to the ground. Could there be an issue? It's hard to say. But with this, we're guaranteed to avoid that issue. This is a 3-position selector switch, and this is specifically for isolating batteries. What was this rated at? It's rated at 300 amps continuous, so I think we'll be okay. We have the option to keep both grounds isolated completely from either machine, or we could select one or two. So say one will be the multi-process machine and two will be the TIG. And I want to mount it right there. Still don't have a real great plan. All right, first I'm gonna have to remove this US General badge, which, who really gives a shit? Come on, baby. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. No, it's just Al. Come on, Al. Al does not want to let go. Did I mention this is a snap-on? Only the best in the Spicer Design Shop. And it looks a lot like a Harbor Freight tool chest, but it's not. Gotta love some ranch corn nuts. I'm gonna chip a tooth. Yep. Oh yeah, perfect fit. 2 9/16. Exactly what I need. All right, while I'm waiting for that paint to dry on those screw heads, I'm gonna hop on Fusion, the CAD software that I use with the Langmuir Crossfire Pro plasma table. I do always have a download link in the description for Fusion. I do offer a free 1-year trial period for like personal hobby use. Anyway, I'm going to design some grounding tabs. One of the tabs will be for the worktop on the welding cart, and the other tab will be for the external ground port that we're gonna have on in case we want to actually hook a ground clamp in. You'll see. And then we'll get them cut and installed. Easy. All right, I have everything mounted, everything is installed except for the actual wiring. And this is just for the grounds. Now, in case you missed it on the last video, this is the plan. Well, we didn't talk about the isolation switch, but I'll go over the whole thing right now. So the idea is that if I needed to make a quick weld, I could do it right here on this worktop. You can see these red spacers right here. Those are actually insulated spacers, which keeps this 3/16 worktop isolated from the entire rest of the cart. What it also does is it creates an air gap, so any heat that I put on this worktop, there's a 1-inch air gap just so it doesn't start cooking and melting the paint on this original toolbox lid. Hopefully I explained that all right. The other thought was for each welder, I would take the ground in the ground port and I would have it connected into like a distribution block, which would then allow me to turn on any welder, doesn't matter, and I could just start welding up here. The top's already grounded. Again, with the concern that there could be interference between the two welders if one is on and one is off. That's where the isolation switch comes into play. So one is going to be the upper welder. So I'll just click that over to one, and that ground will now be connected to the worktop here. The other option, say I'm working over here on this fab table, give you a little better look. That is what this port right here is going to be for. So I could take my normal ground clamp, put it right there, lock it in, and I can either ground the table or I can ground the project. You can ground it to your butthole if you want. And even though it is mounted to this 1x1 square tube here, it is still isolated from the entire cart, except for the worktop. Ooh. So there is the lug that I'm gonna be crimping onto the wire in just a little bit. There is the tab that I just welded onto the worktop. So I will be crimping on a wire to that. This one and this one are gonna route into this distribution block right here. And from that one, that is going to go to the common on this isolation switch, which is this lug right here. This one is 1, and that bottom one is 2. So 1 will go to the ground port on the multi-process welder, and 2 down below will go to the ground port on the TIG welder. Hopefully I explained that clearly. Probably not, whatever. Maybe it's overkill. I think it's pretty cool. Only time will tell. I'm gonna throw you on a time lapse and I'm gonna get all this stuff wired up, get it as tidy as I possibly can. I should be able to kind of test it out. And then we can jump on to the power distribution. That one I have a pretty good plan for, but we'll see how it turns out. Right now it is in the off position. So if I try to strike an arc on this, nothing should happen. We're gonna try that. Nothing. Just have a bunch of wire that's bent. Where did I put my cutters at? How do I keep losing all my shit? All right, come on. They can't, seriously, what is happening right now? Duh. All right, now I'm gonna go to 2, which would be the TIG welder, so it still should not work. And there's actually a ground down spot right here, so it's not like I'm trying to strike an arc on the mill scale. Nothing. All right, now we're on 1. Now we should get an arc. Yes, we did. Now I'll hook into my ground clamp, clamp onto this table, and I should be able to strike an arc here. Bingo. All right, now that we know all the grounding works, I'll still have to go back. I have to pull all this stuff apart, paint it. I'll tidy up all that wiring so it looks nice. But now that I know it works, it's time to start with the power distribution on this. And for that, I'm gonna jump back on Fusion, do a little design work. We're gonna have to cut some more parts, a little more welding, but I think it's all gonna come together really nice. If not, well, then I guess I'm As for tonight, I'm done.
Way out in Indiana, where the corn grows high, there's a man named Kyle with a fire in his eye. Got a shop full of sparks and a steel-cut dream, building up the world with his big-time machine. He's a CNC cowboy welding up a scene, TIG and mid-laser rig running like a dream. Tractors, excavators, even golf carts too. If it's broke, he'll fix it, paint it red or blue. Spicer designs machine, rolling neat and clean, cutting through the metal like you've never seen. Keystone girls out back sipping on a beer, rocking that bikini, bringing Kyle some cheer. She's a Keystone queen, got a heart so true, keeps that man running like a torch cuts through. He's a CNC cowboy welding up a scene, TIG and mid-laser rig running like a dream. Tractors, excavators, even golf carts too. If it's broke, he'll fix it, paint it red or blue. Spicer designs machine, rolling neat and clean, cutting through the metal like you've never seen. Keystone girls out back sipping on a beer, rocking that bikini, bringing Kyle some cheer. She's a Keystone queen, got a heart so true, keeps that man running like a torch cuts through. He's a CNC cowboy welding up a scene, TIG and mid-laser rig running like a dream. Tractors, excavators, even golf carts too. If it's broke, he'll fix it, paint it red or blue. Spicer designs machine, rolling neat and clean, cutting through the metal like you've never seen. From the sparks in the shop to the cold beer nights, Kyle and his baby got the good life right. An old school craftsman with a new age spark, turning steel and fire into rolling art. He's a CNC cowboy welding up a scene, TIG TIG and mid-laser rig running like a dream. Tractors, excavators, even golf carts too. If it's broke, he'll fix it, paint it red or blue. Spicer designs machine, rolling mean and clean, cutting through the metal like you've never seen. So if you're out in Indiana,
Damn it! I've got quite the mess going on. I started a new 4x8 sheet of 16 gauge for some of these larger panels that I'm going to use to enclose the bottom section of the welding cart, and I'm trying to keep the weight down as much as I can. I had to do a bit of a reset because things were just getting way too messy, but we're good now. What I'll say throughout this entire project is the CNC plasma table has been huge. Without that thing, I couldn't be doing anything that I'm doing right now. If I did, it would suck. It wouldn't be accurate. I wouldn't even do it. The Keika pan brake, that thing's awesome too. For this 16 gauge mild steel and even the 12 gauge mild steel, I can just bend the shit out of it. I love it. So I want to show you where we're at right now because I just gave you a nice little montage there of everything that I'm doing, but I just want to get you up to speed here. First of all, I f***ed up. I spent all this time fabricating this fancy piece right here and my measurement was off. I'll show you that in a second. So I'm going to show you where this goes first and then we can talk about all the other details and you'll see where I screwed up. All right, so this plate right here is to block off the back side of this space down below here in the welding cart. This is where I screwed up. The measurement from here to here is just a hair under 26 inches. Somehow I made the length of this 25.54 inches. So I'm about a 1/4 inch short on each side. This thing isn't going to be completely sealed. There's going to be little gaps here and there. The main thing is just to keep the majority of the debris and whatever's down here enclosed. So not a big deal. So this is going to go right here, just like so, with this nice little 1/4 inch gap on each side. I'm going to drill a bunch of holes across the top, a bunch of holes across the bottom, and I'm going to use pop rivets to secure this to the welding cart. Now right here you see this small little electrical enclosure. This is where the SO cord for the plug is going to come in, right here in the bottom. And then there's a hole going through to the other side where there is another electrical enclosure right here that is going to house the 2 welding plugs. Also on the top here, you'll see these little brackets with 2 holes in each one of them. Those are going to run basically right along the top section here. And that is what the gas hose for the argon and the CO2 mix are going to tie wrap to. I had a couple other ideas, but again, I wanted to keep the weight down, so I decided to just do the small tabs and I'll just tie wrap it to it real nice. It won't be seen, but it will be tidy. All right, get over here, you little turd. All right, I found these 2 at the local Home Depot. They were looking for work. What was your hourly rate?
I don't know.
That's why I hired them. So I'm gonna pay them 5 cents an hour. I think that's fair, don't you? Do you think that's fair?
5 cents?
Yeah, an hour. Not bad, right?
Yeah.
You good then?
Yeah.
You're getting 3 cents an hour, is that okay?
I guess.
Do you guys, first off, do you know what these are?
Tool? A tool?
It is a tool.
It's tweezers.
Tweezers? No.
I don't know what it is.
Chompers? All right, you said chompers and you said tweezers.
Yeah.
You think that's funny?
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's sad that you don't know what these are. How old are you?
8.
So you're telling me that you're 8 years old and you don't know what these are? They're side cutters.
I would never have guessed
Side
that.
cutters.
I would never have guessed that.
All right, here's what we gotta do. We've got all these gas hoses all routed in nice and clean, which you know Daddy likes that.
Okay, to make it.
I mean, not Daddy. You guys just met me at Home Depot, right? Right?
Yeah.
All right, here's what we gotta do.
Okay.
We have to trim this hose so that it fits in here. All right, so what do you think, like right there?
Yeah.
All right, cut it, just squeeze it. Squeeze it, cut through it. Listen, I'm paying you 5 cents an hour. If you can't cut through this, I'm taking you back to Home Depot. Oh, this is, let me try. Really?
Show me your muscles.
Wanna feel them?
Oh, wow.
That's my forearm. You're supposed to feel my bicep.
Oh. Oh, wow. Those look like nipples.
What are you talking about? There's nothing. Is nipples your favorite word?
Kind of.
Well, it's my favorite word too.
My favorite word is...
Your favorite wood? What's your
Now-
favorite wood?
Now my favorite word is Spicer Designs. Not Designs.
What about machine?
Machine.
That's not very tight. Got it. All right, the welding cart is done, kind of. And it turns out my little Home Depot helpers, they really weren't much help at all. I think 5 cents an hour was honestly too much. So both of you, you're fired. I'm leaving you a bad review. So I got the back plate installed, which houses the incoming power and the 2 outlets for both welders. And you can see right here, it actually turned out really nice, even though my measurement was a little off. Both outlets are very clean. Both cords are plugged in, and then you can see I have the gas hoses routed nicely over the top there with a couple extra little loops in case I need to shimmy some stuff around. Overall, I'm very happy with the way that that turned out. And from the back of the cart, there's really nothing exposed. Everything is nice and tidy. There's nothing hanging out that's gonna get snagged on anything. We're gonna see if it works and if I know how to wire stuff, which that I'm not too sure about. All right, we are plugged in. We should have power. Both welders are plugged in. So in a normal situation, I wanna weld something. Maybe I wanna MIG weld. I'm going to reach back here, turn it on. We've got power. Maybe I wanna MIG weld and TIG weld at the same time. Just kidding, I can't do that. Some people in the comments thought that I might be doing that. But we can turn both machines on at the same time, we just can't use them. Oh yeah. All right, there you have it. We're plugged into one 240 volt outlet. Power comes through into the back of the welding cart. Both of them plugged in under the cart, and they both have power. Now, one thing I want to show you over here on the side, I think I'm going to take your guys' advice. That little cubby is the perfect spot to stick the plasma torch, and it shouldn't damage that. So as far as the MIG torch cable, I think what I'm gonna do is maybe right here, I'm gonna build some kind of a cable storage hook, and I will coil this thing up nicely right here, and I can hook it on there and still keep it somewhat tidy. Coming over here to the bottle storage, I've got the regulator on, the argon bottle. This is going to be for my TIG setup. The hose comes down out of this regulator, and it comes out of that regulator, and it tucks in nicely right through the back there. So the bottle storage, pretty clean setup, and again, there's nothing on the back of that cart. Everything is tucked away. Overall, I'm very happy with the way this cart is turning out. I would say it's at about 90% right now. There's still a couple more things that I need to do to it, and I do already have the pieces cut. So right here, I have 2 more pieces, just straight rectangles, nothing fancy. These are gonna be like swinging doors. So what I have is a black piano hinge that's gonna go vertical right here and right here. And then these 2 pieces of plate are going to attach to those piano hinges, and they will open like this. So you will be seeing this part done in that final reveal video where we announce the winner of the R Captain MiG 200. And I have some fancy ideas that I want to do on these panels. I'm just Mr. Fancy Pants. This other panel right here is going to go in this space. Right now I can currently stick my hand through here. It's open on the side. So I'm going to block that section off with this panel. This one's pretty easy. It's just going to rivet in there similar to that back plate. And I do have a hole cut in this one. That is for the power cord to go through and the gas hose for this TIG welder. So all I have to do is get a little bit of cord management for the back of this thing. I'll have to design some kind of bracket and get it mounted. That's easy. Same with the MIG torch. Then I'll have to throw the front doors on that lower enclosure there and that side panel. And I have some really cool things that I want to do to this thing to kind of spice it up. Gonna do some engraving, try to do a little bit more of an intricate paint job with it. But as far as all the main features of this welding cart, it is done. Make sure you subscribe to Spicer Designs, R Captain, and comment R Captain in order to get entered to win the R Captain MiG 200. Did I say R Captain? Did I say R Captain? I think I said it like 15 times. And in 3 weeks, I will be posting the final, the final reveal video of the ultimate welding cart. I'm actually really excited for this project to be done. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. I am trying to make a little extra money, so if you're interested in some foot pics, just go ahead and email me. I'll even throw in a little lint ball for you. You got a bunch of them.
You ding dong. You're ding dong. So my dad always had ding dong.
Testes. I'm gonna try not to use my hands as much in this video. Motherfucker getting heavy. Thunder. Thunder down under. Believe it or not, that's the only play that I've ever participated in.